We are going to do it a bit differently this evening. We will lead the invocation. If you will join hands, please. And tune into your heart. This one could not avoid feeling our presence as the music did raise the vibration to such a point that we were able to easily slip in. And so join us, please, at the center of you, which is where you are joined, linked with all others. Feel that connection now. The heart knows it well, and we wish you to get to know yourself as the center of all that is. Feel that connection now and turn up the light within. That is all the prayer you ever need, for in this state you are innately connected as the one with all expressions of the one. And so it is. You may drop the hands and join us now in communion, for is that not why you are here this evening? The music, quite a powerful way to raise one's personal vibration. What do we mean by this? You are the vibration of love. You may think that you are a person, and you are, but that is but one aspect of you. At your very essence, we have said this before and we will say it over and over as it sinks in to your awareness. You are the light. And what is meant by this light? The light of pure awareness. It is the one thing that never changes within you and within all others. That light that never goes out, that spark of the divine. We speak in your English language, but it is so limiting. We speak to you through tones of music, and it is a universal language. All hearts recognize the higher vibrations. Love, hear us well, is the absence of separation. Therefore, unity, oneness, is the expression of love. Music such as this, which is harmonious and has certain chords which trigger the heart to know its true nature, for the soul to know, I am that light, that love, that indivisible vibration of awareness, of consciousness. For music to do this to you is a gift. You know harmonious music when you hear it. You know it's not in the head. The head is for thinking. The heart is for knowing. You can know truth without words. And what is truth? Truth is knowing who you are, the light. We are going to be going round and round this evening, using different words, different analogies, different methods of getting you to understand that aspect of you that always has been, that was long before the body appeared on the scene. That aspect of you beyond the mind, beyond thought, beyond feelings and emotions, and therefore beyond suffering, beyond turmoil, beyond chaos. That is what the human seeks. That is what the human wants. That is what the human longs for. And where does that longing come from? The heart. That empty feeling this one spoke of earlier comes from one who is not in alignment with their true nature. You tune into your human story, you believe it is you, the only part of you that exists, and you become out of balance, away from the center of you. But as you come into alignment with the heart, by getting out of the head and slipping back to that place that has always been calling you home, you begin to feel the peace that lies at the center of you. This is the place of pure awareness. It has always been there, yet so many of you seek outside of yourselves for peace, for a God who is separate from you. But if love is absence of separation, and God is love, is it not truth then that God is not separate from you? Therefore, what is God? Not a being, but pure being. Simply being the light. And yet the language does you a disservice. By putting the word the before light, we have made God into a thing. We have made the light into a thing. Yet you already know what this no thing is. The light is simply that awareness, I am. But this I of which we speak, and to which I am refers, is not the I with your name on it, not the I with the story that follows, not the I with feelings, emotions, thoughts, sensations. This I is that pure being. And so you can ask yourself for a moment, who am I without a name? Who am I without any thoughts? Without any labels, without any possessions, belongings. Who am I? Some of you experience fear at the thought of having no thing or no one. This is all at the human level, where the stories play out, but beneath and beyond the story is a realm of pure light, that sea of pure potential from which all stories arise. And because it is that sea of love, all that arises carries that self-same vibration with it, and you are that. Many of you are well familiar with the analogy of the wave arising from the ocean. You are those waves. You arise as the mind of consciousness, and from the mind arise more thoughts. And one thought follows another, followed by sensations and feelings and interpretations of those feelings, and on they go until you have lost your way, looking for the next thought, judging the last thought, fearing the future thoughts. And that is where you go astray. And all it takes to return home is to turn back and pull that thread, unravel the thoughts, see them for what they are, a series of beliefs and sensations that come and go. And anything that comes and goes is not ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is the light that never goes out. How to come to know this within the self? Be silent. Recognize the gaps between the thoughts. And it is not the gaps between the thoughts, but the thoughts that arise from the gaps. We fear we may be losing you with all of these analogies. And yet, Truth is as close as the breath. Are you aware? As you ponder this question, and we have asked you to ask this in the past, are you aware? There is a brief pause where there are no thoughts, a moment of confusion for the human who tries to answer, but that moment when there are no words, when you are seeking the answer, that is the awareness. That is the same in every one of you. Every one of you, as you ask, am I aware? That emptiness is full with possibility, full with potential. That emptiness is not empty at all. It is pure intelligence. Am I aware? And from that moment of not knowing arises all knowing. From that moment of pausing, expectation and anticipation, from that arise thoughts. And with these thoughts you identify, and suddenly now you are back in human form. There are two aspects of you. This pure awareness that is the same in all of you. That is the oneness. Can you understand how that place with no geographical space is the same in all beings? Do you understand us? It is the same in all beings. From that space, you diverge into your uniqueness. From that place, you play roles for that intelligent consciousness that you may call God, or you may call the source, or you may call the light, or you may call love. That is your source, all of you. And all it takes to go home is getting out of the head and sinking back into the heart, which is the very center of all that is. You may be quite familiar with saying, I am that. And this evening we will play a bit with you and show you that you are also this, playing with the English language yet again. This is all there is. This presence, this space within you and with all beings. We have found that by changing your word from that, which seems to be apart from you, to this, you are now focused more on what you know intimately, for you know this, the center of you. Can you imagine that this is the source of all that is, and therefore you are this peace, this presence, this light. We wish you to understand this evening that we are speaking to the heart of you, the soul. The heart is the bridge between the human awareness and pure awareness. If you do not understand these words at an intellectual level, fear not. The heart understands very well. It is merely a matter of bringing the two into alignment, surrendering the mind that at this moment may seem a bit constricted, trying to wrap your head around our words. But there is a part of you that has always known these truths, for that part is the same in all of you. It is as if the self is talking to many little selves, but all of you join back in the heart. Simply feel the words and know you are this. What is your task in life? To remember this is the home. This is the place of peace. This will always be there whilst the story plays out. You may have had a recent loss which has taken the legs out from under you. One near and dear to you seems to have gone, but they are as close as this. There is no there, just as there is no that. In the spirit world, there is only here, now, this. You wish to connect with your loved ones. They have not gone far. They are here as well. All arises from the sea of love, the sea of pure possibility. Call your loved ones through the heart. Set the thinking aside. Invite them in. What love has brought together can never be separated. When you become distraught, caught up in your memories, just remind yourself, this is the story. We will speak over and over and over of these lessons, which never get old for us. For we are here to teach you, to show you, to light the way home. Why is it that you say home is where the heart is? For again, that is the center of pure being. Go there often. Go there when the story has knocked you off balance, and remember the two aspects of you. The story, which has run off with the thoughts and feelings and has forgotten to turn back home. That other aspect of you is that peace. Beneath the story, before all stories, when pure being decided it was time to shine. And here you are, here to shine your light. And when it seems as if the light has gone out, others around you, may they shine on you to remind you, home has never left you. Do not get caught up in the story. It is a good thing to have a story. How else does the soul learn? But when the story gets a bit much, simply surrender it and sink as the wave back into the ocean from which you arise moment by moment. You do not remain gone from home for a lifetime. Only for the blink of an eye, for the blink of an eye, in cycles of awareness. The soul never forgets who you are. Come into alignment with the soul and remember, tools such as music will bring you back home in an instant. Seeing love in the eye of a kindred spirit will bring you back home. The heart recognizes itself. We will answer a question or two. If there is one of you with a question for us this evening, we welcome it.
Is reincarnation continuing?
Most definitely. Reincarnation serves a purpose. The soul, even though the human may become a bit tired of having had a human story, has a bit of a rest in the spirit world and says, well, wasn't that interesting? And decides to have another go at it, for it is quite clear The learning that takes place in this earthly laboratory of consciousness is far greater than when one is surrounded by fellow light beings in awareness, such as occurs in the spirit world. Here in the earthly realm, with the laws of cause and effect, the learning is great. And so the soul reincarnates, but here as well, it is not an all or nothing proposition. The soul remains always at home, and just a bit of it is having a go at the human life again. Your loved ones will remain as a pattern of energy, and this does not sound very romantic, does it? A pattern of energy is what you are. You are not this body. You are not this mind. You are a pattern of thoughts, feelings, sensations, images that you identify with, but all of it rising through consciousness, and this cannot be destroyed. Therefore, your loved ones will always be there to greet you if that serves the greater good when you cross the veil, whether or not that soul is learning through another pattern here in the earthly realm. We hope we have answered your question to your satisfaction. Is there another?
Does Sanaya have any input on whether someone decides to be cremated or buried or donate their body?
Do you know that to those in the spirit realm, whether or not one cremates a body or buries it or donates it, makes not a bit of difference to the soul. If it makes a difference to the family, to the person as a pattern who has departed that body, then yes, that serves a purpose. But here as well, there are many beings who have crossed the veil, and the family did not follow the wishes of the one who passed, and it did not bother them at all. We wish to assure you this is so. Motive is all important. What is your motive? As long as it is done with love, that is the lesson there. Remember, the body is the vessel. Treat it with respect, treat it with love, but do not become so attached to it that you feel that should something happen to the remains or cremains, that you have lost your loved one. You cannot lose them, for they are the light. There is no attachment to the body once you leave it behind. You recognize it for having served you, but it is not the real you, and therefore, again we say, it makes no difference at all. Follow your heart, always the greatest advice. Is there another question?
Sanaya, on this day when we honor our veterans, if we're here for love, can you speak to what the purpose of the military is to be?
Most definitely. In a world in which there are many who have not yet remembered who they are and come back to learn lessons of love and oneness and unity, there will be many who still slumber, who do not realize the meaning of unity. And when this is missing, what have we said is the definition of love, the absence of separation. There is always unity, but when the human awareness runs away with the story and forgets who they are, then with the outward focus on human objects and human thinking, they are apt to make decisions that are contrary to love. Therefore, there are many humans who seek power, who seek possessions. And when those two things are sought after, you are bound to have conflicts. Because you have a world filled with human beings who do not recognize the oneness, you need order in your world. You need boundaries and rules and laws. And until all human beings cease seeking power and possessions, there will be a need for protection from those who take up arms in aggressive actions. We have no judgment of this from the higher realms. There is no judgment, merely understanding of what happens when the human mind has an outward focus rather than an inward focus. We hold the light as we wish all of you do, and ask you to turn up that light, knowing that in your lifetime we must be truthful. You must understand that not all beings will awaken to the point that you will no longer have conflict. And so we understand your desire to not have conflict and to not have a military. But because one is spiritual does not mean within the story that you are not realistic. We understand this. We shower you with light, wishing for more and more to awaken, and we are seeing this. But again, it is up to each one of you to find the love within your hearts first and foremost, and see the truth, so that others around you will feel the effects of your light, until one by one the lights go on and there are no more conflicts. But this is a world of duality in which you learn from trial and error through your mistakes. There is no mistaking that atrocities continue in your world, but do remember there are two worlds. Two worlds. And when this life becomes too difficult, do not escape this world by seeking meditation at all times. Seek meditation for wisdom, for peace, so that when you step back into the role, you can be a bearer of the light, and so that others need not bear arms. We hope you have enjoyed our answer. We too would love to see a world with no conflict, but we can guarantee you that world awaits all of you when you cross the veil. But that place awaits all of you now in the heart. This is the heart of our message to you this evening and always. That place of no conflict is that state of pure being from which all of you arise. You honor your veterans, for you know that their motives, for the most part, are pure. There will always be a few who go astray. Send them light. Be the light. What is the motive? This is the question to ask yourself. Be the change is most excellent advice. All in your human life is changing, always, and change is disruptive. We are well aware of that, which is why we are teaching you to know this. The peace that passes all understanding. Understand us well. You are this. Beneath the strife, beneath the change, is the waveless sea, where there is no separation. Before the stories arise, and when you pass from this story and return to your true home, there is always peace. Find it now and help to bring more light into your world. We thank you so much for joining us as always. You help us in our mission as much as we hope that we have helped you. How do you help us? For you make it quite easy to see the lights turning up in your world. That is our role, to assist you in understanding why you are here. You are the light, and you are here simply to shine. Do you know how easy that is to do? You are so very loved. Never forget this. Never doubt this. Listen to your heart. It has been trying to tell you this your entire life. We bid you good night.
Good night.
Good night.